Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. In this channel, we investigate the what, why, how of ancient Chinese culture, which include the ancient Wing Chun culture. A few days ago, I shared a video on the short strike Wing Chun, Kip San Tuin Da, Wing Chun Kin. It's not Taiji, it's not Mei Zhuang, it's not Shaolin Wing Chun, it's not Fujian Wai Crane. And after that, I have received many messages from our friends, Wing Chun friends, asking me different type of questions. And of course, always there are people who ask me, is my agenda wanting to be a grandmaster of this era? And am I just talking back of other Wing Chun lineage? So today I like to share with you, what is the truth? By evidence, so that here on you know what is the truth. Because only truth can free us and can let us Wing Chunner progress. Now, the first thing, as people thought that I am wanting to be a grandmaster and so forth, as many times I share in this video, my agenda is only I study, I research, I love to look into things, and I share with everybody. So those who knows it, and if they like, they can carry further on. As in this channel, we look into the Chinese culture, not any style or any lineage, those stuff. So, as General Qi Ji Guang has said when he began to become a commander of the army in the Ming Dynasty, he said that 封侯非我意，但愿海波平. That's Mandarin. 封侯非我意, meaning that I have no desire to be official or the top official who work for the emperor. 但愿海波平 is, I hope that the turbulence in the sea can get settled. The turbulence from the sea is the invasions of the Japanese pirate. So I follow the same thing. I just want to know what this is, what is going on. And I share with those who like to know what is going on. So that is to respond to a certain Wing Chunner friends who question me on my motivation. Now, as for many of Wing Chun friends who say, hey Hendrik, are you against the structure, the mind power, and the Taiji Fa Jing? Well, let me share with you. What is the truth of short strike Wing Chun or Kip San Tuin Da from Shaolin? By evidence. So you can see I'm talking technical. I'm not talking about my opinion. I think so, or I want to step who down or any lineage. I'm not. Now, let's start. Shaolin Short Strike Classic. That is the bottom line. Keep San Tuing Da, Wing Chun Ki. Sticking body, short strike, Wing Chun. That is the bottom line. I didn't create anything of it. I just present to everybody what it is, so that you'll be able to once for all see it. Whether structure makes sense or not. Whether the mind power makes sense or not. Whether your Taiji gene makes sense or not. Whether all your internal stuff making any sense at all. And of course, only if we know what it is. We know whether it makes sense or it is me who try to put down or step down people or talking bad about people. Now, let's start with this. Let's start with Judo. Why? Because the first thing, Judo have a standard. It is in the Olympics. It is not selling some kind of snake oil. That's Judo. Today, Judo belongs to the world. Every country have Judo. Every country can participate in Olympic Judo game. Okay? Use Judo as a standard. Use the basic minimum of the Judo as the standard. The second, Judo. Judo. The character Ju means soft. In Shaolin Short Strike Classic, you can also read that word soft. And as we know, the Korean, the Japanese today, often they present the real meaning of ancient Chinese. What Chinese today don't. They evolve. So Judo, Ju is soft. And you can find that Ju, the Ju way, the Ju, the soft defeating the heart, in the one of the first question and answer in the Shaolin Short Strike Classic, where I tell you what it is. So, first, based on it is an Olympic level of art. The second, based on Shaolin Short Strike, we pick Judo. Nobody can argue, right? Who have made the Olympic anyway? Who have a records? Black and white anyway. And it is Chinese culture, and it is from the Japanese source. So we can compare things objectively. Now, let's go to the Judo, the very basic trope, Ogushi, where I studied about 48 years ago. Hopefully I still remember Ogushi. In Ogushi, if we break it down, there are 3 levels of learning in order to get proficient. The first level, of course, is the techniques of Ogushi. Okay? Now the techniques of Ogushi is not a techniques. It is the body, the butt has to stick in, and it has to deal with handling of the keywords, momentum. And when this is getting in, you have impulse there too. So it is related to handling of impulse momentum. So when one want to study, learn, practice the Ogushi techniques, one need to go in and have this. The body has to go in to handle that impulse momentum of the opponent and myself. So this is the techniques. If I want to be proficient with it, I have to keep training of handling of this impulse momentum where my body has to get in. I cannot do Ogushi this way. I cannot do Ogushi this way. I have to get in this way. Right? So in order to be proficient with Ogushi, I have to be able to do this naturally. Now, to do that is just the first steps. Obviously, nobody is going to stand there and let me go inside there, make sure I get the proper angle, and then I do an Ogushi throwing at him or her, right? So, even though I am proficient with the Ogushi throw, I still need to learn how to get in, how to set it up to do the Ogushi. I have to be proficient with it. So, the second is I need to be proficient, be able to go in, get in, or set it up while pushing and throwing all sort of stuff. So that's the second level. The third level is, even though I'm doing setting up and all kinds of stuff, unless this is the opponent is somebody who have no clue at all, or a 200-year-old senior where I can do whatever I want, the opponent, who is at least as good as us, is going to do what? Counter attack. So the third level will be counter attack. So there are three levels. First is proficiency in the basic techniques or basic impulse momentum handling. The second is to set up or in some way to get in. Have to be proficient with that. The third is be able to do the counter attack. Only if one is proficient with this three levels, one can say, I know that part of judo. I'm proficient. And you can find out many hundreds of thousands, millions of people in this world who practice judo can do that. Right? Now, one thing. When you talk about judo, jiu-jitsu, or ju in Wing Chun short strike, all of this is pointing at close body fighting. Now, let's use just three levels of judo or Ogushi to explain you what is the short strike Wing Chun, what is the Shaolin short strike, or what is the Tip San Tuin Da, sticking at the opponent's body's short strike Wing Chun. Again, Tip San Tuin Da, I did not invent that thing. You can go Google, you can check all the history, or even in the movie that Tip San Tuin Da is there. Wing Chun is a Tip San Tuin Da. Right? Now, the first level of studying Ogushi, handling the impulse momentum, getting body close to. In Shaolin short strike, this is feel in, feeling in, feel in. Feel in Mandarin is called tian. You feel in. See my body, feel into it. This is not feeling into it because there's a gap here. So like Ogushi, I need to feel into it. That's called feel. The second level of Ogushi is all the setup to get in. That is the short strike shoot in. Because nobody is going to stand there and let you shoot it in. The third level, of course, is you have to be able to play counter attack. Now, different than judo, like you do ogushi, you shoot in, you fill in, ogushi you fill in, and then you have to set up, you shoot in, and then you have to counter attack. Because Shaolin Short Strike Wing Chun is a different art, have a different uniqueness with judo. This is the fill-in of the short strike, where my thigh attacking him, my knee attacking him, my shoulder is here, can attack him, and this sun punch is here in this area. Why in this area? Because you have no hands in this area. So there's an empty. So this is the fill-in, as in the Shaolin short strike document. That's the fill-in. So if you want the translation type, you can get it in the Wing Chun matrix. That's the fill-in. Okay? The second level, the setup, that is the shoot-in. I need to find an angle in. Nobody's gonna stand there and let me go in to fill in. I need to find an angle. That's the second level. I have to be proficient with that. And only that I can get into the level of counter attack. For example, get in. And what if I get in, he changed. I have to get in. So there's a 3 level. Now, like judo, unless one is proficient in this, one do not know what is a Tip San Tuen Da Wing Chun Kin. One do not know what is the sticking body short strike Wing Chun. That's technically, that's what it is. So, if one study the 1850s Wing Chun or Tip San Tuen Da Wing Chun Kin or Shaolin short strike, one need to have this proficiency, the handling of impulse momentum, the fill-in, the shoot-in, and the play of the counter and attack. This is how it equivalent with the judo. Of course, the judo, like in the Ogushi case, have a different uniqueness in their impulse momentum, into in their setup and get in the counter attack. If you read the Shaolin short strike classic, if you use this, what I just shared with you, you will be able to understand what it is. The reason why people don't understand it is what? At one hand, they're reading the Shaolin short strike. On the other hand, their mindset is programmed by movies. You have Wing Chun movie for past how many years? 50 years, since 1970? 40 years, 50 years? It is programmed that way. And one do not see, as I just showed you, the very simple Ogushi way of learning. And if you want to do a Ogushi practice or learning until one be proficient enough to do counter and attack, will one be able to do stand in a structure to do it? Will one be able to use the mind power to direct the jing or all those things to do it? Will one be able to do far jing this far away, or you fly him away, or you use elbow this way to do it? You can. Because those things is actually opposite of what a sword strike art, be it is judo, or be it the Shaolin sword strike, or be it the sticking body sword strike Wing Chun. So unless one be able to be proficient with this 3 level, there is no proficiency there. So if I'm talking about this technique, that technique, if I'm talking about, I'm going to hook his knee, I'm going to punch him and all those things. And then if he come here, I can walk here, and then I can do this, I can do that. Well, if you look into like judo, one is not even proficient, or one is not even learning the really basic of getting in. How is one going to be proficient when one don't even know that one have to get in, fill in? So unless one know what is a fill in, what is a shoot in, and how to play it, one have no idea what it is. One never develop anything. So that's why you can see in the past 3 years after Xi Xiaodong, everybody say, oh, you guys traditional Chinese martial arts, you have all this theory, but in the real fight, you just go fighting like that. Of course you're going to fighting like that. Look at the judoka. When they do Ogushi, they'll do Ogushi. Why can they do that? Because they have this 3 level of proficiency. How is one going to face like judo, where have levels of proficiency, where what one learns is like in a movie? Oh, this is like this is like this is too dangerous, that is too philosophical. How? Yet in Shaolin sword strike riding, the classic, is showing all those 3 levels of proficiency, and even more, because now it involved in the breathing, recovery. So, are we going to face this? Or I should be shut up, do not tell anybody anything in this world? So this is what I'd like to share with you today. If you want Wing Chun great again, it has to change. It has to take the path like judo. It has to bring back what is clearly recorded in the Shaolin sword strike classic. And it has to bring back what is the 1850s Wing Chun. No longer this is Hendrik Wing Chun, this is this Wing Chun, there's that Wing Chun. If we can do 60 years or 80 years of Wing Chun and none talk about the fill in, none talk about the shoot in, it's like we talk about judo in all theory, but we don't know about the reality of have to get stick in the body, has to have a setup to make use of its momentum, not crush in. Set up to make use of its momentum, the opponent's momentum. That's called Ju, soft way. Not when he push me, I can take his force. Not I can pressure him. That's not Ju. That's not soft. Soft is do not take his impulse momentum. You just make use of it. There is a setup to get in. And in the counter attack, doing the same thing. So this is the reality. I know many will not like this. Well, I don't like it too. But this is reality. And my goal is very simple. It's like General Chi Guang said. To be an official is not my goal. I have no desire. Just hope that the turbulence in the sea settle.